you know what, I'm going to turn pro. What was that?
So I would say in 2009, I knew that I wanted to be taking pictures for the rest of my life. Hadn't quite honed in on that it was going to be people, portraiture, and so forth. But I knew that I wanted to take pictures for the rest of my life, and that if I could make a living at it, that's what I wanted to do. And I say now, I want to die with a camera in my hand. I want to be taking pictures right up until the very last moment, because there's something, for me, magical about it. It feeds my soul and my spirit. About 2009, I started taking a few classes. Into 2011, 2012, 2013, I joined the Austin Professional Photographers Association, the Texas Professional Photographers Association, the Professional Photographers of America. In 2014, I attended the PPA, the Professional Photographers of America convention called Imaging USA. I attended Precision Camera here in town puts on an event, and that was one of the earliest years that's called Precision Camera University, and you take one day with each of several instructors. I went to Texas PPA's Texas School of Professional Photography, which is the biggest of its kind in the country, if not the world, and took a 5-day class. So Texas School of Professional Photography is you're with one instructor for 5 days, and I was with a couple named Gregory and Lisa Daniel, who are wonderful, and I learned so much. I went to Texas PPA also puts on a summer event called Summerfest, and I went to that for the first time. So I say 2014 was my year of everything, and it was the year I truly committed to being a professional. And I've been working on it since. So really this is my 4th year, if you will, of being firmly committed to being a professional photographer.
So how did you stay out of one of my most dangerous places for me, Doc, is comparison mode.
Mm-hmm.
The instant I get into comparison mode, my creativity, my abilities to work and to bring just collapse. So what was your route through this when you experience and you see others and go?
I'm very comfortable with that, because no matter what you do, there's somebody who's further down the path and somebody who's not as far down the path. So for instance, I'm a retired martial artist. I have a 3rd degree black belt in Shotokan Karate. And the title that we normally use as teacher is sensei in Japanese martial arts, which most literally means one who is farther along the path, not who is there. And in fact, in most of the traditional Okinawan Japanese martial arts, there's only 10 degrees. To go from 9th to 10th, you get promoted by your students, because there's nobody higher than 10th. So I've embraced that for years. I studied martial arts from 1988, which happens to be the year of the dragon, until about 98. And I mentioned the year of the dragon because I was born in the year of the dragon and married in the year of the dragon, and started my business in Silicon Valley, and my martial arts studies all in the year of the dragon. So it's always been significant to me. But the idea of being on a path and accepting that there are people who are farther along the path than me, who are taking, if you will, better pictures. The reality is, for me, the best picture is one that someone loves. It's not the best picture. If I take a portrait of you and you look at it and say, oh my goodness, Doc, you captured the real me, I'm going to put this on my wall because I want everybody to see it, or I'm going to put it as my Facebook profile picture, whatever it is, then it's the best picture. Could somebody else have done something different, better? Sure, but so what? Because I'm not competing with them. So I don't really do a lot of that comparison. Okay, I do occasionally, because I took a class at Texas School of Professional Photography with a fellow named William Branson III this year, known to his friends as BB, and he is a friend of mine. And his work is beautiful, but he literally hand paints. So there's photograph, there's treated photograph, there's a digitally painted photograph, and there's degrees of that. And then there's actually hand painting on the photograph, and he does that. So he is an artist, and his work is out here, and mine's somewhere over here, whatever that is. And I do some painting myself. I outsource to people who are more skilled as artist painters, as opposed to me. I'm an okay digital painter. So sometimes I look at work like that, or I look at their business and their success, and I compare. But as an artist, and I'll come back to that, the word artist, but as an artist, I'm not done. I'm never going to be done. I look at, in fact, I've got a book of my dance pictures. I got several books of my dance pictures here. And another high school senior I photographed was a dancer. Actually, a couple of them were dancers. And I photographed them dancing. So that's one of the things I love to do. They come in, I put on music, and they dance for me. If you like dance, to have somebody dance for you for 45 minutes to an hour and then be capturing pictures throughout all of that is fantastic. Anyway, I was talking to her mother, who came, because they came back a couple years later. They came back this winter, and she danced for me. Well, she more posed for me this time, but still some dance moves. And her mother said, I've been watching your work for the last couple of years, and I'm really impressed with how much it has progressed. And that's because I'm practicing all the time lighting and posing and where I set the camera and just all the pieces that go into it, the technical side as well as the artistic side. I play with different styles of lighting. So I always do personal projects that help me progress. So I compare more to where I was and where I am and where I'd like to be than I do comparing myself to others. And I try and remember that when I look at other people's work. And it's like, yeah, I was there. That's where I was on my journey 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it is. Should not judge them based on where I want to be, but on where they are and whether I have something to offer. I'm on a bunch of Facebook groups, and there's always the people who offer constructive criticism, CC, who say, this sucks. Your lighting is bad. You clearly don't know enough about whatever it is. I always try and go in and say, here's what I think, or here's how it impacts me. Use that if you like, because I'm just offering it as information.
Take what you want and leave the rest.
Correct. And I'm not very tolerant of the people who just get in and blast people. Even if they're brilliant, even if their work is fabulous, it doesn't matter. Are you there to shut someone down or to help them get better? I feel like I'm there to help everyone get better. So I teach workshops and classes. I go speak at other, we refer to Austin PPA as a guild or an affiliate of PPA. And I go speak at other guilds because I have things to offer. And if it will help people move along their path, I'm happy and I love teaching.